People get addicted to a lot of things. You got alcohol, gambling, rhythm games, and wait, how does that last one fit in there? People spend thousands of hours clicking circles, hitting blocks, or playing digital piano on their keyboards, but why, after years, are these games still thriving more than ever? Especially games like Osu, which are over a decade old at this point. Well, to start with the basics, they're just fun. They're incredibly easy to understand, so much so that the best players in the world aren't even legal adults yet. You have people playing these games who grew up with them 20 years ago, and people who are growing up with them now. No matter your age, gender, or country of origin, there is content here for you, and there's a community willing to help you find it. But rhythm games don't seem to have a lot of content. They come with a few songs, sometimes only a couple, and that's apparently it. But when you pull back the covers, you realize that rhythm games have some of the most content out of any genre of video games that I've ever seen. This happens because all of the content in the game is community made. These maps aren't made by the people who made the game, so they don't come with the game. These maps are made by people just like me and you, who just enjoy the music and want to add it in. This in turn makes it so the community can have an infinite amount of people making content, and we don't have to wait for the next DLC pack to drop to get new songs. If I want a song added as a map to play, I can just do it. And that's one of my favorite things about rhythm games. There are so many people looking to add their favorite songs all the time. When a new song comes out that we love, some mappers will gang up and tackle the song together, creating a map that is a combination of everyone's different skills, which in turn makes it one of the best things I've ever played in my entire life. This also allows people to get well known in the community as prominent figures. The same way you would know some of the top players in the world, you would also know some of the best mappers in the world. With this many people able to create their own content, these games can thrive for years or even decades before they start to run dry or really get boring. But I also asked you guys in the community tab of my channel what your reasons are for loving rhythm games, and a few people made a very interesting connection. They connected rhythm games to learning and playing an instrument. And as someone who plays guitar, piano, and drums, I can very much agree with that. Spending hours learning your favorite song is fun. Playing along to your favorite songs makes you feel connected to the music. It makes you feel like you're involved in making it, rather than just sitting at your desk listening to it. I feel the exact same way playing Osu as I do playing guitar. Getting good at these games feels just like getting good at an instrument, getting better and better the more you play and the more you practice. And just like learning your instrument, your improvement is very clear. In many games you spend a ton of time improving, but you don't always get to show it off. You can have the best aim in Valorant or the best decision making in League and still go 0-10 because your team was feeding or screwing you over. But in rhythm games, your only opponent is the map itself, and for every note that pops up, you get a chance to prove yourself. If you try to improve your aim, you're going to get higher scores, and if you improve your timing, you're going to do the same. Rhythm games show your progress like no other game. They're so transparent that most of the time that improvement is what gets us hooked. It's the fact that putting in 20-something hours immediately pays off, rather than just building a skill or a habit that you might use later on. If you put in the work, you'll see immediate results faster than any other genre of games. And seeing these results is a massive accomplishment. Finally getting an S on your favorite song or finally passing a map you've been struggling with for weeks is just incredible. In other games, you don't celebrate a win every time you get it, because not all of the wins are meaningful. But in rhythm games, if you work for a week to pass one map, you better believe you're gonna pop off when you finally pass it. You have, in a way, defeated your opponent and proven to yourself that you are improving, and you can do it if you set your efforts towards it. And after you get your score, you can then see how it stacks up against others in the world. Seeing that you're just a few points away from beating someone you've looked up to in the past can motivate you to come back later when you're better and try again. Rhythm games can be extremely competitive if you want them to. You can compete with your friends, try and get the best scores in the world, or even compete in a real fully fledged tournament for these games. They are no different from other esports in the sense that if you want to, you can dedicate all of your time to improving and grinding these games. When we think of esports, we can't forget to include rhythm games. They might be a little different, but they're just as competitive and just as fun to play. But they're rhythm games, so of course I have to talk about the music. There are plenty of people, I'm willing to bet almost everyone watching this video, who listens to music in the background while they're gaming, working on homework, or simply just going about their day. So it's only fitting that we combine all of our hobbies and make a music-focused video game. And of course, if you're gonna make a game based around music, you gotta have some good music. And let me tell you, we do. Some of my favorite songs are songs that I found because of rhythm games. And remember the stuff I mentioned earlier about how the community will pick their favorite mappers? Well, this goes hand in hand with people picking their favorite artists. People like Camellia and Nanahira are absolute icons in the rhythm game community, and every time certain artists drop a song, thousands of people will flock to it, ready to listen to it and love it no matter what it is. There are artists who have been in the rhythm game community for longer than I've even been alive, and those artists' names are synonymous with the game itself. Some of these artists will put out songs specifically for these games, giving back to the community for all that we've given to them. And when you find a good song, just turning your headphones up and getting fully invested into the game is really something special. It's an experience like no other, and there are thousands of people who will tell you the exact same thing. So I guess don't just take it from me. I should just let someone else talk about it too.
This thing on? Alright, right off the bat, I'm gonna keep it real. I've put in thousands of hours into rhythm games because of what had just been said, and there's been many times in my career where I tried to quit, but would end up coming back the next day. This was the only genre of gaming out of the many I've tried to really trap me in a box like this, no matter which game I tried. So naturally, I had to try and rationalize what makes me, and possibly you, keep coming back. See, when someone first starts playing a rhythm game, most times they play a few easy songs and think, hey, this is pretty fun. But then later they realize the actual skill ceiling of whatever game it is they're playing, whether that's by watching someone else play or by playing a song way past their skill level. And then they immediately think, damn, getting to that point seems impossible. From there, they quickly hit their current skill cap, get bored, lose their drive to keep playing, and then they end up never returning. But occasionally there's a person that still ends up returning to the game despite this, whether it's because they enjoy the gameplay, or they like the song choices, or because of the very fact they want to become one of those people doing what seems impossible. Everyone that returns to play a rhythm game has a drive for doing so, and I think part of what makes rhythm games so special is that your reason for playing could be completely different to the next person's reason for playing. For example, I started off playing Flash Revolution, a flash-based 4-key rhythm game, because, well, firstly I really enjoyed the song choices and was able to discover a wide variety of genres. But on top of that, I looked up to some of the best players in 4-key at the time, like Stayin and Etienne, and I really wanted to prove myself to see if it was actually possible to get at least close to that level. And it started off relatively tame, you know, I'd only play casually, every so often coming back to my favorite songs, until one day I realized, wait a second, I'm actually improving. I was slowly getting better with each passing day, and I was already starting to hit some milestones I'd set for myself, getting my first AAAs, full comboing difficulties I could previously only dream of. And I remember this one day, it really hit. The day I got what we like to call a skill boost, when in one playing session, you far surpassed anything you were previously capable of. It felt like a light switch suddenly turned on, and I was able to just hit patterns I previously struggled with, without even thinking. That was when I truly got hooked into playing rhythm games. To me, it felt like nothing could surpass that dopamine rush of beating one of your old personal bests the very next day, sometimes without even breaking a sweat. So I got to experience this feedback loop of a journey, whilst being able to discover and listen to some of my favorite music. Yeah, if you're anything like me, that's an offer you can't resist, especially if you have a lot of time to kill as a younger. It's only natural you get to a point where you live and breathe whatever rhythm game it is you're on. And before I knew it, I was playing for hours a day, going for leaderboard spots, playing in tournaments, and generally just losing myself in some of the most unique music genres I've ever heard. But of course, those are only my reasons. Like my man said earlier, other people don't even want to be competitive, and they literally just like relaxing and listening to the music they choose, while sticking to easier songs to experience the gameplay. But occasionally there'll be a case where if they keep this up, they may realize that they've gotten extremely good at playing easier songs and become what's known as an accuracy player. Or if they end up becoming tired of playing easier songs, they may transition out of that to try and play things slightly outside of their comfort zone, beginning the path to an actual competitive player. They could also become a leaderboard crusher, a badge collector, a wild card player playing some of the most downright disrespectful mods. They could become a mapper, they could become a map judge. Hell, if you stretch it enough, you can even become an artist. The journey you take in rhythm games is something that's wildly different for everyone involved, to the point where you don't even have to play the game to be a huge part of it all. And best of all, if you do end up playing, the skill you build from playing rhythm games never really leaves you, thanks to it mainly being about muscle memory and pattern recognition. So you can just come back whenever you're bored and start playing like you never even left. After all, there's no team play, no game sense, no strategy needed, just you, your sense of rhythm, and the notes on the screen. Rhythm games really have shown me that there's beauty in simplicity. It's just up to you to uncover that beauty. If you're someone looking to try rhythm games watching this right now, should you choose to go down this path, not only will you gain a cool skill to show off to your friends, but be prepared for a journey that could possibly change your life. On the other hand, if you're someone who's already super into a rhythm game, there will come a time where you're generally burnt out from playing. Trust me, you'll know once you stop having fun and it becomes a chore to play, map, or make music. When that happens, I urge you to stop and take a break, even if it's just for a little while. Always remember that despite how much rhythm games mean to people like us, these are still just video games, and taking care of yourself comes above that under all circumstances. Whew. Thanks for having me on here, Big Man Telly.
And thank you to everyone who helped make this video possible. Obviously, Rinny, thank you for hopping on, giving your thoughts, and also providing a ton of gameplay for me to use. Thank you to Zoftle for making the music for this. I'll leave that down in the description. His songs are great. Really check him out if you need more music. And thanks to Gumi for providing the Beat Saber gameplay. Again, links in the description. And thank you to you guys, all the new faces around here who have decided to comment and watch my videos and take part in my community polls. I'm gonna start sourcing a lot more stuff from you guys. I mean, I put the community post out to get your guys' feedback, and I used a lot of those comments in this video and used them as references when writing the script. So thank you all for being here. If you want to get more involved, join the Discord. That way you can send me anything you want to send me and potentially help me out with future videos. But thank you all for being here. Definitely more to come, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.